A 10 on Your Side investigation now that hopes to change the public perception of group homes. When people hear the word group home, they may not always think good things, especially when it's being set up in their neighborhood. Well, that was the case in York County when residents there found out 3 group homes could be built in their community. 10 on Your Side has learned more group homes are coming to the state, and our Lauren Compton is weeding through the facts and the fiction of how these group homes might affect you and all of us. Lauren?
Stephanie, people worry that group homes will devalue their property or put their kids in danger. But people who operate these facilities say there are a lot of misconceptions about group homes for the intellectually disabled. And they say if people only knew what was going on inside these homes, they would know there's nothing to fear. So that's exactly what we did. They say a man's home is his castle. That couldn't be more true for 60-year-old Carranza Williams.
We call him the king because that's the kind of air that he carries around here.
And this king loves music and has quite a reputation for his cinematic knowledge.
He's a movie buff. He loves cartoons and Scooby-Doo. And you got all the movies in your room.
Williams eats through a feeding tube and has respiratory problems. He is also one of the thousands of people across the state living in group homes nestled in residential areas like this. And one of the thousands of people some folks don't want in their backyard. We saw that fear about group homes firsthand in York County.
We're not saying anything bad about the mental health issue. It's just we don't want it here in our neighborhood.
Colonial Behavioral Health proposed setting up 3 group homes similar to this one in the Lackey area. Residents stepped forward with a list of concerns.
We all have children. I live across the street from a park. And if these people are going to be able to run freely, what's that going to put ours in jeopardy?
10 on Your Side wanted to know if these residents' fears were warranted. So we talked to the agency setting up the group homes in York County to pick apart the fact from fiction concerning group homes for the intellectually disabled. Starting with the fear that once a group home comes in, property values go down.
There's national studies that show that that is not the case. It's experience, shows across the country that that is simply not true.
And the worry about the intellectually disabled being a danger to neighboring children, health officials shot that down too.
If they do engage in something that harms someone, it's usually themselves. These are not violent individuals, and we're not going to be bringing, we don't bring violent individuals into our group homes.
Coe says he understands where the misconceptions come from. He says when most people think of group homes, they think of places like this halfway house in Hampton. 10 on Your Side learned residents here were struggling with alcohol and substance abuse. It's also where police say a resident killed another man here. David Coe with the Colonial Behavioral Health says the homes like the one in Hampton and the ones the states are building for the intellectually disabled are completely different.
They're nowhere near comparable. The only comparable thing is that the house has 4 walls and a yard. Outside of that, everything's different. The population's different, the level of disability is different.
Also, the state regulates group homes for the intellectually disabled, and a caregiver is always inside. And again, the nurse kept telling us if people only knew what was going on inside these group homes, they would know they have no reason to be afraid. So coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to go back into that group home and show you what it's really like in those neighborhoods. In the newsroom, Lauren Compton, 10 on Your Side.